In this video, I'm going to show you how you can install Conky on your Linux or Ubuntu system. Now, some people that's using Ubuntu 18.04 and later versions of Ubuntu have trouble installing Conky by the old installation method. I figured out a way to install it, and I've updated my web page to include the illustrated instructions. But if you don't know what Conky is, it's a system monitor application that displays information about your various processes that's running on your computer in a graphical user interface. And you can customize Conky to look however you want it by installing widgets and themes within the application program itself. Now in this particular video, I'm only going to show you how to install it. In a later video, I'll show you how to install additional widgets and themes. To start with, you want to open your terminal. The reason I like using the terminal is because you can copy and paste things in your terminal. So I click on the terminal, or you can press the shortcut keys Control-Alternate-T, and I paste this into the terminal, and I press the enter key. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll have the link below, so that way you don't have to write anything down. You can copy and paste. Put your password in once the prompts you for password, and then press the return or enter key, and in a moment it will add the repository to your list. Then you'll have to update your repository. So that as that's adding the repository, I'm going to simply copy sudo apt-get update, or you can say sudo apt update to update your repositories. Now it's updating, or it's not updating, it's installing the repositories currently as I'm speaking, and it's going through and it's reading the package list. And now I want to update that list. It's added it to it. Now I want to update it. So when I install Conky, it will install it with no trouble. Now as it's updating the list, I've already pressed the return key. I'm going to go sudo apt-get install Conky all and install Conky, which is the Conky at the end of it. So you just simply copy and paste all of this. And it's going to need some additional packages. So when we finish installing that, it's not going to be in your menu and it's not ready to use it. Alright, it's done, so I'm going to paste this in my terminal. I press the enter key or the return key. I don't have to enter the password again because it's been so recently. If I waited a while and it timed out or closed my terminal, I would press the Y key and then press the enter key again to install the additional packages or dependencies that it needs. And as it goes through, it will install. And as you can see here, once it installs, you press the enter, press Y. When it finishes, you're ready to close out of your terminal. Okay, now it's finished with the installation process. Let's exit the terminal. Now, as you can see here, there are going to be a couple packages that you're going to have to install. You're going to have to install the real path and the Conky Manager. Now, you have to match your system. I'm using a 64-bit system. Some of you that have older systems may be a 32-bit system, so you need to know that. So the first thing you're going to install is the real path, and after you install real path, it's needed, the Conky Manager needs the real path, then you install the Conky Manager. I'm going to go ahead and click both and download them both to my download folder. Now it's going to say, do you want to keep it maybe harmful, because it's kind of an executable file. It's a deb file, and you will need gdebi installed on your system. So if you don't have that, you can go sudo apt-get gdebi, and it's in the instructions below, part of the illustrated instructions. So when you get down to the point down here, when you go to download and install, if you don't have gdebi, you can copy that sudo apt-get install gdebi. For those of you that may have found this on YouTube, that when you go to install the deb file and it doesn't install, you can go install the gdebi on your system. Now we're going to say show all, and we've just downloaded two files in our download folder. We downloaded RealPath and Conky Manager, and we have to install this one first and then this one second. So I'm going to hit show in folder. Now the RealPath is the first one. Let me go back to here and close out both of these and close that tab, and I'm going to minimize. Now the first one we need to install is the RealPath. So I just double click it, and I do have the gdebi package installer, so I'm going to install RealPath. Now if you need any additional dependencies, it will show here. This system has all the dependencies that are satisfied, so I'm going to say install the package. It's going to come up, see this is gdebi running, it's going to come up, I enter my password, and then I press the authenticate button, and it's going to go through. I'm going to minimize the Caja file manager, and it's going to go through and install the RealPath program. Now when it's installed, it looks like it says complete, but you're not going to close it out until it says reinstall package. And it's going to change all dependencies are satisfied. Now it says the same version install, reinstall, remove package. We can use this to take it off if we want to, but now we can close it out. Now that was the first file that we had to install. The next one is the Conky manager. You double click and it's going to bring up the package install, and I can close the file manager. Those are the two files that we downloaded into the download folder. Now if you're needing any dependencies, again it will show up here. We click install the package and it will prompt you for your password. So we enter the password and then we authenticate. Now it's going to go through just like it did with the real pack. It's going to go through and install, and immediately when it says install complete, do not close it until the install package button changes to a reinstall package. So when this changes, all dependencies are satisfied. When that changes to the same version installed, now you can close it out because you got reinstall package and remove package. We're done with those. If you wanted to, you can go in your download folder and delete those, but I mean, if they're not taking a lot of space. So we've now downloaded, we've now installed them. So as you can go through here and look, these are the step instructions. Those are the two files that we just downloaded, and this shows you how to install them by double clicking onto them. Now it shows you how to go through your menu. If you're using Ubuntu Mate and have it set up to the traditional menu, it's going to be placed in the application accessories, and if you look here, this is your Conky manager. Now to start with, by default it's going to come up with the widgets browse selected. You can go and look at themes, but there's only one theme selected, and you click that to select it. Let's go back to widgets. I'm going to start through the bottom and work my way up so that you can see how the widgets will look on your screen. Now as you can look, here's a widget that's placed at the bottom. You can go through here and rearrange those, and I'm not going to show you in this video, but I'm just going to show you what the looks of them are. And like I said, you can install additional widgets and additional themes so that you have what you want to look on your system. I don't see anything with this one. Well, that's because I don't have an NVIDIA graphics card. Now this right here has different CPUs that you can monitor. All those looks very similar. I'm going to skip up to here. Over here on the side, it will then, as you can see here, I have an HP Pavilion laptop. It shows me my Linux kernel version. I do have an HP Pavilion. Uptime is 14 minutes that it's been running. Looks like it's having some fonts troubles. But like I said, I can install additional themes and fonts that would clear that up. So I'm going to uncheck this one. These are just the default that's selected. I like the Gotham that's up here at the top that shows you the time. I think I like this one better because it places it in the center. And as you can see here, here's the last two. Here's one that will load, and it looks like after it loads a while, the fonts kind of has trouble here as well. But like I said, you can install additional fonts, and here is something that looks like a Rolodex type of calendar that's at the top. So those are the default widgets by the default, and if you click here, as you can see, it's going to load a theme, and you can then download and install additional themes from the internet. You can use Google, and then in future videos I will show you how to install additional widgets and themes within your Conky. So this is how to install Conky on your Ubuntu or Ubuntu Mate 18.04 or later. I hope this has been a help to you, and have a great day.